Thanks for staying with us. The committees of the National Assembly have been repeatedly identified as the engine room of the legislature, the pivot upon which the oversight, lawmaking, and confirmatory processes rest upon. Given the prime importance of the National Assembly to democratic governance, these committees are expected to earn the trust of the public by promoting greater citizens' engagement in the legislative processes. On Space View this week, we featured the Chairman Senate Committee on Ethics and Public Petitions. Join us again. On Space Views tonight, we are having in our studio the Chairman Senate Committee on Ethics and Public Petitions and Senator representing Ondo Central Senatorial District, Senator Ayo Akinyelure. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
Public Petitions and Ethics Committee, what is it all about?
See, public petitions and it's 3 committees in one, and it's a special committee of the Senate. A special committee in the sense that the span of control of this committee covers all agencies of government in all ramifications, whether you are from oil sector, any sector, all the sector of the economy, whether financial, any sectors of the economy, this committee is relevant. So our span of control covers all the agencies of government, the public officer. It talks about the ethical behavior of a normal public officer in this country, whether in the legislature, whether in the executive, whether in the judiciary. This committee oversees all of them to ensure that the ethical behavior is complied with. Then we talk about the privileges. What are their privileges? What are your privileges as a public officer? Can a public officer just be sacked, by his employer anytime, any day? No. The answer is no. There are rules, there are procedures to be followed in doing things in the public service. We talk about the civil servants. After reaching the age of 35 years in service, or 60 years, whichever is earlier, he may be retired. But the government of the may still need their services. They make them, public officers by appointment to be DGs, MDs of parasites here and there. So there are ethical behaviors that they must be followed. What are their privileges? Can a constituted board of an organization be sacked by the person who appointed you? The answer is yes. But if you are a civil servant, nobody can just rise one day and sack you when you didn't commit any offense. Therefore, the ethics, privileges, and public petition, and the public petition talks about those whose rights have been infringed upon. Those rights have been infringed upon. In any spheres of public life, they have a right to write to their representative, to the Senate, whether to the House of Rep, your representative. We have 360 members in the House of Rep. We have 109 senators representing 109 central districts in Nigeria. So everybody, wherever you are resident in Nigeria, you have a representative in the Senate that can represent your interests. There are many Nigerians who have no means to what? To pursue their right through the law court. Therefore, this committee, being a special committee of the Senate of Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we have similar committee in the House of Representatives, those individuals whose rights, whether corporate or individual in the country, whose rights have been infringed upon, have the right to petition to the Senate when they don't have the means to go to court, to go and, seek redress. They can seek redress through the elected representative of the people in the legislature. And that is why this particular committee is considered as one of the special committees of the Senate, where rights of individuals can be protected.
All right, so, it is a general belief that for democracy to thrive, the National Assembly is expected to work hand in hand to really ensure the trust of the people. And that's what, this committee is all about, as it were. Now, how successful, okay, you've just given us 1 or 2 instances, but generally speaking, how successful do you think the committee, the National Assembly has been, able to key into the usefulness of this committee to really attract the trust of Nigerians?
Well, as a matter of fact, in the 7th Assembly, this committee was not well funded. In most cases, when petitioners come, I use my personal phone to give them money to go back to their homes. But under the Ninth Assembly, under the leadership of Senator Ahmad Lawan, who has been, an experienced legislator from inception of this particular assembly, we call them the indigen of the Senate, indigen of National Assembly. Those who have been re-elected back over and over and over again. So he knows the working of the legislature. He knows the importance of this particular committee. In the 7th Assembly, he was a member of this committee. While he was then the chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Accounts, I was also a member of his committee. But me, re-elected back by my people in the 9th Assembly, considered me fit with loaded experience to man this particular committee. I will tell you, he has encouraged this committee. But the encouragement is not yet enough. He will still add more. Because this committee acts as the ombudsman of the whole Nigeria in the Red Chamber. The ombudsman. We have a Public Complaints Commission, which is the ombudsman for the whole Nigeria. They have offices in 36 plus FCT. Ombudsman, that is Public Complaints Commission, is a creation of the Constitution, independent and working under the, is under, National Assembly. They are independent of the executive arm of government. They are the ombudsman of the Nigeria. But we are the ombudsman of the whole Nigeria in the Red Chamber. Are you with me now? So, funding has been a problem. For instance, in public complaint, their fundings have their problems. They have 36 states. They have complaints. People who voted us here. They don't have means to go to court. Their lands have been usurped by some powerful people. Some people's houses are just deprived of their rights and responsibilities in this country. That is the work of ombudsman. In the 36 states, we have 36 state offices. And this particular committee supervises that particular agency of government. And therefore, this committee funding requirement is very key to success of this particular committee. I will tell you, since the inception of this particular assembly, 6 months ago, we have resolved more than 30 cases. Some cases that have lasted for 3 or 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years in the court of law are resolved here by bringing both of them together. Let's come on the same table. Most are resolved through alternative dispute resolutions. Most are resolved through the public hearing by inviting the agency of government. Tell the whole Nigeria, what is the reason for you to sack this innocent person from work? This work belongs to the whole Nigeria, our father's land. Why must somebody consider himself what? An authority. Performing, engage in impunity of highest order. This is what this committee stands to correct.
Most times when there are motions and bills from the floor of the Red Chamber, it cuts across the whole country and it charges the whole polity kind of. That's right. Now, recently there is this call, there is this started calling for the establishment of an agency for repentant Boko Haram insurgents. Now, this is generating a lot of conflicting controversies across the polity. What do you think? I mean, what's your own take on the whole?
As a matter of fact, when we talk about security matters in this country, Mr. President of the nation is the chief security officer. I'm only elected to be a legislator. My opinion is a one-man opinion. And therefore, when you talk about security challenges in this country, it borders on the executive arm of government. Our one is to make relevant laws that will make Mr. President achieve significant success in securing this country. Boko Haram or no Boko Haram, it started as if it's a child's play. But today, it has become something like everybody is now looking for how to solve. But I want to assure you that the Ninth Assembly is ready to be on the same page with the executive arm of government. Whatever the executive wants, the legislature will be on the same page with them to solve these problems. It's a problem that has to be jointly solved. That's my own opinion. Because I don't have the solution alone. When we all meet in the legislature, everybody hears out his own opinion. At the end of the day, the opinions are coordinated together. What is for us to make laws for good governance of this country. where we feel that there are leakages in the law or loopholes in the law that make Mr. President not to deliver on his mandate, we have to block those leakages by amendment of relevant laws. Charge everybody arm of government with responsibility to deliver on their mandate. And with that, I believe Mr. President is doing his best. That is, President Muhammadu Buhari is doing his best. But he's a single individual, like me. He is in Azorok. Can he be in the war front? He cannot. But the fact is that the agencies of government are to work together. How do we jointly solve this problem? Not to be blaming X, Y, Z. We don't need to blame anybody. There's a problem on our kitty. What is important is for us to jointly sit down. If it is legislation that you needed, we are ready to make it available. If it is funding that bring the appropriation, we will approve it.
Senator Akinyelure is representing Ondo Central Senatorial District and is the Chairman Senate Committee on Ethics and Public Petitions. Thank you for your comment, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you.